Hello, chess enthusiasts. Welcome back to the Zucho Chess channel, where we explore the most thrilling games in chess history. This time, we'll dive into the spectacular game of a 19th-century chess legend, Adolf Anderssen, known for his wild and creative play style. In this video, we'll witness the iconic match between Adolf Anderssen and Lionel Kieseritzky, played in 1851 in London, England. We're sure this game will leave you amazed by Anderssen's daring moves. At first glance, he appears cornered and loses many pieces, but he finishes with a stunning checkmate. Stay tuned as we unravel the excitement of this historic game. Adolf Anderssen plays white, and Kieseritzky commands the black pieces. Anderssen begins with the move e4, which Kieseritzky responds to with e5. Anderssen then pushes the pawn again to f4, also offers an exchange. This is a famous 19th-century opening called the King's Gambit, though it's less popular in modern times. Kieseritzky accepts the gambit, capturing on f4. Anderssen develops his bishop to c4. Do you think this is a reckless move? Yes, I do, because it allows black to launch the queen to h4. Of course, this closes off white's chance to castle the king's wing, and at first glance Adolf Anderssen looks like he's playing bad, but wait, this is just the first surprise that will come, followed by even more amazing surprises. Anderssen moved his king to the f1, Kieseritzky square then responded with the b5 pawn threatening the bishop. The idea of this pawn sacrifice move was to divert the white light bishop from this diagonal path in case the pawn was hit by the bishop. And Adolf Anderssen did correctly, hitting the pawn with the bishop so that the light bishop looks isolated. Kieseritzky continues with the f6 knight threatening the center pawn e4. Anderssen responds with the knight to f3, threatening the queen. Kieseritzky then retreats his knight to the h6. Anderssen square guarding the center pawn with the d3 pawn while opening a diagonal path for black's dark bishop. Kieseritzky answering with a knight to h5. Of course, the next idea is to check g3, forking the rook. As an anticipatory move, Adolf Anderssen jumped his knight to h4. Kieseritzky then pushed the queen to g5, clearly visible in here. The black queen threatens the white bishop and knight. Up to this point, the black position is clearly much more promising. Adolf Anderssen makes the most common anticipatory move, namely the knight to f5. Kieseritzky again threatens the bishop with the c6 pawn. But instead of saving the bishop, Adolf Anderssen gives a very brave answer with the g4 pawn turning to attack the knight. In a straight line, if there is an exchange of pieces, then the white defense will be very open. Cleverly, Kieseritzky moves the knight to f6, adding pressure on the g4 pawn, while at the same time, with his pawn still attacking Adolf Anderssen's bishop. Of the two choices, Adolf Anderssen chooses the less popular for all of us, as saving the pawn with the rook to g1, means that he consciously sacrificed his bishop. Happily, black pawn take bishop. Adolf Anderssen lost one pieces and with a defense position that looked so vulnerable. He then sent a pawn to h4 threatening the queen. Kieseritzky moved his queen to g6 and Adolf Anderssen responded by continuing to push the pawn to h5, again threatening the queen. Kieseritzky, the queen to g5 must be Anderssen's only safe square, then the queen to f3. Of course, at this point the black queen is in danger of being trapped. Kieseritzky then moved his knight to g8 to make way for his queen. Adolf Anderssen then bishop take pawn and attacked Kieseritzky's queen, then saved his queen to square f6 while turning to threaten the b2 pawn. Anderssen anticipated with his knight to c3 while threatening the black pawn b5. Kieseritzky responded with his bishop to c5 threatening the rook. I am sure that Anderssen's answer never occurred to all of my friends, namely by moving the knight to d5 to attack the queen once again. This is like a blunder, because he deliberately let the queen advance by hitting the b2 pawn, and Kieseritzky really did it, namely the queen times the b2 pawn. Now there are two rooks. Adolf was in danger of being saved again. Adolf Anderssen's answer was beyond our reasoning. He actually did not take any steps to save one of his castles, but the bishop to d6. Kieseritzky was of course happy to hit rook a1 with the rook. Anderssen moved the king to i2 and answered Kieseritzky with an bishop times fortress. Is Adolf Anderssen's position at this point like an amateur player? Surely not. A few people suspect that he lost badly in terms of the pieces and the two opposing pieces have been stimulated to the first row, but wait a minute, let's continue. There is a trap from Adolf Anderssen. He pushed the e5 pawn to close the diagonal path of the black queen. Here it is clear the next threat is the horse hitting the g7 pawn. If that happens, then the black king only have one option, which is the d8 square, and the threat of checkmate comes in the next move with the bishop to c7. Therefore, Kieseritzky takes an anticipatory step. He moves the knight to a6. His goal is very clear, to control the c7 square from the bishop occupation while the e7 square is guarded by the other knight. The answer from Adolf Anderssen is still doing check with the Scythian g7 knight. The black king certainly only has one choice, namely the d8 square. This is what escaped Kieseritzky's calculations, because Adolf Anderssen's next move is completely non-negotiable and there will definitely be checkmate in the next move. We challenge our fellow chess lovers all to guess Anderssen's move at this point. Please pause this video if you feel it is necessary. Yes, Adolf Anderssen made an extraordinary move, which was to sacrifice his queen to f6 check. For Kieseritzky there was no other choice apart from hitting the queen with, and we all know the continuation, namely the bishop to e7 checkmate. It is truly an extraordinary and terrifying combination from Adolf Anderssen, who since the game has been seen to make many blundering moves so that his defense is increasingly open. Don't forget that Adolf Anderssen has sacrificed 4 pieces including the temporary queen. Kieseritzky's pieces are still complete and have even managed to break into the heart of Adolf Anderssen's defense. Wow, Adolf Anderssen's game this time is really great. That's the video from Zucho Chess. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for friends who haven't subscribed. We also always ask for support from chess lovers, so that this channel always learns and develops. Thank you for watching. Sorry for any mistakes in words and see you in the next chess video.